So.
And a great example of that is Dwala.
Yes.
It's Ben with Dwala. Not to call you out, but.
But to call you out. Actually, yeah, would you like to share for just a second about what you're experiencing right now with being able to take an idea that was purely straight out of your head and then put it into practice and now getting a lot of national attention?
Excuse me, sorry. You know, I think for us right now the big thing is recruiting. You know, we're looking for talented people, and you know, it's kind of, I guess I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, well, you know, the first time this is going to have value for me, which when I have a problem and it gives me a solution. And right now we need talent, and talent's leaving. You know, we went to New York and we leveraged relationships through Sam and other people to kind of look for developers in New York, but they don't want to move to Iowa. You know, we need to hit them before they leave, and we need to find talent early. So, you know, we really need to know where to go with the university, and our company is growing fast enough where I don't have a week to go down there and spend. I need access to the top 5 smartest people in your class, and then I want them to try and leave school and come work for me. I mean, I know, sorry. But I mean, that's kind of what we're dealing with right now is talent. But the infrastructure is all here. I mean, Iowa has a technology infrastructure. It has access to capital, and there's a limit where that ends, where we have to access it externally, like in New York and on the coast and so on and so forth. But you know, there's a lot of people, I think, in the room, Doug included, who have really helped us along the way, and I mean, Chris included too. I mean, it's just, we have an ecosystem. We just have to figure out how to connect it with the outside of the world and just honestly support it and keep talent here.
Could you give the 1 minute on Dwala? Can you give the 1 minute on Dwala, what you're about, your service offering?
Basically, Dwala is the term we use a lot, is PayPal without the fees. So just basically assume you can send money, you can receive money, you can tie it into a mobile phone, into a website. Without the fees really implies it doesn't have interchange, so no credit card networks, but we created a real-time transaction that kind of didn't exist previously by building our own network. So essentially for U.S. basically small businesses, that's a $45 billion annual chunk, and our basically platform falls right on top of it and solves that problem. Almost instantaneously. It doesn't cost anything to start with it, and it ties into virtually anything. Our infrastructure is open so that if you're a developer and you're smart, you could go tie Dwala into a parking meter, into any two-way communication device, really.
And I could save a few bucks in parking tickets.
Well, ideally.
Can I ask, is there anything in the financial services bill that passed, that any tentacles that maybe, you know, legislation that may be coming your way that you're concerned about?
Dodd-Frank was actually really good for us because it gave us some new kind of things that we could build on top. For example, one of our investors is part of the NCUA. Non-interest bearing accounts in the NCUA can be insured for any level. There's no $250,000 limit, which means we can hold a tremendous amount of money, which gives us the ability to protect money maybe more so than a traditional bank even could, in theory. And I think maybe even furthermore in Durban, if they push debit cards down, because we connect directly with your bank account, it's really good for us because our platform loads through the lowest common denominator, thus opening up to a market that basically the government is now saying, well, now you have to do this, so it gives us the ability to integrate with it because now it's cheap.
Right.
So I think that all these changes really just open up new markets, and because I think that we're a first mover in a lot of those markets, it situates us really well, because big companies just kind of can't adapt quite as quickly as one that honestly wants your table scraps.
Yeah, honestly, your story is equally as intriguing as a small business story as it is as a startup story, as a technology story, because you're filling gaps that large companies can't do. You know, with being able to move quickly, be nimble. That's the whole thing in small business. And here in the Midwest, majority of our workforce is employed in small business operations, and it's those kinds of companies that, you know, we need to encourage and help them grow.
And to one point around this idea, there's a reason that Silicon Valley and in New York things are working really well, because they have this community of people that are all supporting each other with money and talent and working really well together. And while we have the ability to do it in the Midwest, there's no question, we still have to have this core community that really is talking to each other and working with each other, because there's some reason people still want to go out to San Francisco and make it happen, because there's just a community of people they can talk to at a coffee shop about how to make a deal, how to make this thing go, get new ideas. So, I'm personally excited what Ben has done with kind of spurring that on with some of the things he's done here in Des Moines. So, community is building for sure.